Welcome to the Angler Talk Podcast with Chris and Aaron. Brought to you by FishingMagicianTV.com.
What is up, everybody? It's Chris and Aaron back again with another weekly episode of Angler Talk. How we going, Aaron? How's it going down there in Florida?
Good, buddy, good. Definitely getting hot, Chris. I know you love this heat, dude. This flip-flop and shorts.
Yeah.
When I tell you it is 90, it's 80 and feels like 99 because of the humidity, it makes my fishing have to fit into these windows, dude, where like it's an hour before dark, 2 hours before sunrise, things like that. Because, dude, I don't have a bimini on my flats boat. So you're out direct heat, dude. I'm hiding under the mangroves. Like, it's enough's enough. So I'm cutting down little fishing windows, and we're not doing bad. We found a couple of ponds that are holding really nice bass and some brackish moving kind of salt to freshwater. So there's a possibility of a tarpon in my near future. Dude. I'm just saying, there's a good possibility, bro.
That sounds great, man. And just to backtrack on the heat situation, our buddy Captain Greg from Man and Sport Fishing down there in Marathon, Florida, sent me a Snapchat today of his temperature gauge on his truck. Well, his thermometer gauge from outside, 111 degrees.
Yeah, it's too much, Chris. It's too much.
I was jealous as hell, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm up here in 70-something degree weather, and it's nice, but I like the heat, man. Bring it. You know what I'm saying?
Nope,
but as far as fishing goes in Jersey, the Raritan Bay is still hot with stripers. I'm talking about these 40-pounders, these 50-pounders just still getting caught really, really nice. And I also saw a beautiful picture from my favorite captain out there, Captain Jerry Pastorino, today fishing in the river of Manasquan, got himself a jumbo doormat for one of his customers. In skinny water, we're talking about a 10-plus pound fluke, man. This is awesome. Wow. The fluke fishing is heating up for sure. The sea bass fishing, Eric Kerber's posting pictures every day. It's just red hot. I mean, dude, it's that time of year to where if you have a sick day, burn a sick day. Go out and enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? This type of fishing does not happen all year long. So get out there and enjoy it. Bend the rod for sure.
For sure, Chris. There's guys that plan their season around this time of the year, dude. And they literally save their vacations for this. They save their sick time, dude, and they get out. I mean, if you've learned and gained nothing from this podcast, I hope that you've gained a phone book full of captains, dude, right? And willing mates that can actually get you guys out on the fish, dude, because from New Jersey all the way to Florida, guys, there's enough captains that come on here that are open charters that are willing to take you guys out and put you on the meat. If you're not looking for the meat, you're looking for the trophy fish, there's enough guys to do that also. So, get out there, like you said, bend some rods, man, catch some fish.
Absolutely, man. And to get to the reason why a lot of people are clicking on this video, we got another TV celebrity, but also a YouTube OG who's been doing this for years. If you saw the thumbnail, you know who it is. It is ZAK Ketchum from Catch 'em All Fishing, and we talk about all of the invasive problems going on in Florida, some of the stuff that he's caught, and we even got to see a sneak peek of Zach's backyard and some of his pets. So let's get on down to our conversation with Zach, and I hope you guys enjoy. Here we are with ZAK Ketchum, the star of the show Swamp People from History Channel. How we doing, brother?
Pretty good. I think most people actually know me from my YouTube channel, Catch 'em All Fishing. Or,
yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of both, I guess. Nowadays, I mean, I've been on that show for like 5 years now. So how you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. The weather in Jersey is starting to heat up right now. I'm starting to relive my days that I was in Florida, so it's feeling good up here right now.
Yeah, actually, half my family's up in New Jersey. So
really?
By the way, yeah, I just came off the water. My friend has little fling, this little girl thing, Joey Slam. A lot of people know him as a character in my show on the YouTube side of things. And I took her out with Joey to make him, pump him up, make him look extra cute. Grabbed some bait, caught a bunch of bonita, which are like tuna family kind of thing. And we pulled up to a spot, saw my friend Matt, and he has like a kids camp. So I boosted that little kids camp for him. And while doing him a little favor, a little shout out, just seeing the kids, giving a smile because I know half of them are fans. Another friend of mine happened to pull up to that spot, hooked a giant Goliath grouper, and the thing is like 6 feet long. He jumps in the water, and the girl's like a zoologist or an aspiring to be. So she jumps in the water, and they all get to take pictures. And then we caught a bunch of those bonita, and we're like just playing tug of war with sharks like all afternoon. If you can't tell, I'm like, I just came off the water right now. My friend decided to help me scrub the boat because I was like, dude, I've been trying to get on this guy's podcast, but I've been on this show, that show, and every YouTube in between. People think I'm just sitting around playing video games. That's only percent of what I do.
I hear you, man. That makes us feel really good, hearing that you want to come on the show and stuff like that. Well, we did mention Swamp People, but before Swamp People, you've had Catch 'em All YouTube channel for years. I've been following you for I don't know how long, watching you catch these crazy exotic fish that are in Florida. I mean, although what's that?
This is a cat food. I'm about to feed some right now because I only have a little bit of daylight. I came back. We're doing this whole thing on my phone right now. See what I'm gonna do? Throw this out there.
So to watch,
man,
get a special little tidbit here, then, dude. Sorry for the listeners, but the watchers are getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look at them. They going at it right now.
Yeah, give it a second. Those are just the little dinks. The monsters are going to come up in a second. Yeah, this is a more watcher-friendly podcast, I think, because, I'm the watcher. I don't do much of the listening part. Every once in a while I get a deaf fan, but that's because I'm so ugly. They keep
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, man. I heard somebody say once that you were the playboy of the show Swamp People.
I don't know what they're talking about, man. Dude, I've been trying to get a girlfriend forever. I finally got one that I'm like, slowing down with like yesterday. No, I'm kidding.
I hear you.
Good though. No, it's good. It's good to settle down, man. It's not a bad thing, especially with the show, dude. And I mean, the other show in what's it, Invasive Species, or am I saying that right?
Yeah, the snake hit. Snake. See those giants? I'm not sure.
It's not bad. It's not bad to have a little settle in your life, dude. Especially with being on the go all the time, bro.
Absolutely. Pacu that I'm feeding right now. They're in the wild. This is part of the reason why I moved to this house, because as a kid I fished in this lake and I saw them, and they've been out here forever. But I mean, the camera really doesn't do it justice. But these are massive. As you can see, it looks like there's sharks in the water right back there.
Yeah, it does.
Biggins back there, dude.
So, as I was saying before, you've had this channel, catching these exotic, crazy fish. And although they are beautiful, they do present a problem for Florida because they're not from that area. If you could talk about like what kind of problems they do to the area, what kind of habitat destroying they do, let the people know what's going on down there.
Well, this is behind me right here. These things, look how much water disbursement they're doing right now. Like dolphins back there. So getting so big, and just the sheer size of most of these exotics, they don't have normal predators. Like a largemouth bass is not going to eat a pacu that's 50 pounds. And these things have teeth. They're omnivores. So if one side of the pond just goes dry vegetation, they'll start chewing on, the native fish, and they'll just chop them in half. There's people with catching bluegill and stuff. I've caught them on artificial. I've caught them on bread. I've caught them on meat. I've caught them on like bacon. I've caught them on cheese. I've caught them on fruits. I've caught them on. They eat everything. Now they're eating cat food right here behind me.
That's insane.
All the viewers right now that are actually watching the podcast can see visually. These things are just gigantic. So, what I try to do is I don't like killing things for no reason. Although I am a hunter, I don't kill things for no reason. I can pretty much tell you, every hunter has a huge passion for wildlife, more than most people who have no idea what's going on. Oh my God. Sorry, something crazy popped off over here. There's all types of stuff in here, so you never know what's going to pop off. I walked away a little too soon. But, as a hunter and a fisherman, you're the one that's paying your dues to support your native wildlife in that area, wherever you're going to visit. If it's just your home, your backyard, or if you're going to go visit like Montana, you buy hunting license for that area or a fishing license, you're helping support that ecosystem. So what I try to do, for example, like most of these guys I've caught, I'm not sure if you can see. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, don't bite me. Let's see if I can come over here. It's a little bit late in the evening, so it's tough to see without the polarized glasses. I'd like to put this on the lens, but it's a little difficult. I'm not sure if you could. Did that work?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that actually makes a big difference.
The Waterland polarized glasses, extra shout out. But these guys right here, almost all of them I've caught or raised. This guy right here, 42 inches, Waterland, little plug right there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Need a pair of them guys. Need a pair.
Yeah, but,
Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah.
Catchers, man, are the best sunglasses of the game. They're just super comfortable. I had a strong pair of glasses I've always worn baseball and stuff growing up, and they're similar to these, but they cost so much that no one else could afford them. And then they just dig into my head, and so I made these pretty much. I said, hey, I really like what you have going on. Can I make my own? And they're just like, dude, hop on. Let's just do this together. And that's
Nice.
that. But anyway, what I was getting at is these fish, I try to catch them and rehome them instead of them just running rampant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm feeding all these guys right here, so they're not eating all the wildlife.
Yeah, the bass. Yeah.
Everything else, the bass, everything. And now this lake is actually coming back to life. People can complain, they can say what they want about me, blah blah blah. But that's usually because they don't do the research. They don't actually watch all the way through a video. They'll see like a crazy caption or like a news kid. You still got to get the views,
Exactly.
Nail or something. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's not many people that care more about what's going on in the wild or at home as a pet or any of this stuff than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, Zach, and you know what, Zach? To be honest with you, you can see that when I caught you for the first time on the Serpent Invasion, right? The show.
Yeah.
And you can see the passion, dude, that you have when you're out there. I mean, you could call it the bush, even chasing these snakes, dude, down and making sure that they're not having babies out there. That that they're not just constantly reproducing in an area where they're already killing so much.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God, I got a story for you. So obviously on the television show, every once in a while, you have to pick up like shots, be really cute with it, like the drone overhead and stuff like that. But they're completely legit. You know what I mean? So, they might, move things around and stuff like that as far as the storyline. But we stepped out of my truck on one of these scenes. I'm not going to tell you when, where, and how, but it was the blades, obviously. We stepped out of my truck, broad daylight. Now, most of the snakes I catch are in the daylight. I'm literally like searching hardcore, like bush. You know what I mean? But at night, you can usually just drive along the street and you can pluck yourself a few of them. You can still look at night and they're moving a lot more. But in broad daylight, you really don't see them on the side of the road. We stepped out on the side of the road, bro, and saw one that's thick as my leg. And it was so sick because I was just showing my partner, like, the whole area and everything. Yeah. And we have the cameras, and it was like, and the cameraman actually stepped out. I parked on the side of the road. The cameraman said, "It was like, dude, hop on. I'm turning the camera on. I was right here." Dude, he almost stepped on this thing. It was so big. But as far as I'm concerned, we're not stopping the pythons. Stopping the pythons is like trying to stop the peacock bass. Like, after introduce them so they can make money, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's a good fish to keep, even though it's invasive and destroying. You don't find largemouth bass down here in South Florida anymore.
Right.
That's it. Peacocks kill everything, and then they try to blame it on the snakeheads and stuff like that. Whoa. Come down.
I saw that splash, brother.
Yeah, take it.
Giants back here. But they try to blame it on stuff like, just like, even Pacu. Nothing can compete with the peacock bass. I got one in there. It's just a little bit late in the day. It's hard to see without, the Waterland sunglasses. Yeah. It's just that most of these invasives cannot be stopped, like the iguanas. You're not going to stop unless you literally nuke the entire state. You're not going to stop them. You can't. Unless there's like literally the only thing that can stop all this stuff are cold fronts. South Florida, nothing in South Florida can withstand a cold front.
Right, freezing it out. Actually,
Yeah,
killing
my time in Marathon, Florida, I lived in the Keys for a little bit, and dude, I couldn't walk anywhere without seeing at least 3 to 4 dozen iguanas. I mean, they are literally everywhere, and they're destroying, all the shrubs and all the landscape that people are spending money on.
Infrastructures. I got a couple rental properties. These pieces of crap, I've been having to dig under them. I called neighbors. I'm trying to hook up because I can't be everywhere at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're laying eggs, and they dig these holes, but under the infrastructure. And that's what's really pissing everybody off more than anything, because it's costing us cash. And when it starts costing somebody money, is when people start giving a crap about them. The pythons, they're not costing anybody money. They're just eating, all the natives. But what they don't want to tell you is FWC also introduces 250 plus mountain lions mixed with, the cougars, and be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like play God out here and see what happens, and blame it on something that you guys don't like a snakehead or a snake. Doesn't the other dude?
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Everglades, because the Everglades is something that, I'm 33 years old. I would say for like 25 years I've been wanting to experience, and me and Aaron have talked a lot about going to the Everglades and trying to do some things video wise, but it's just like the more and more that I look up Everglade videos on YouTube or see these documentaries, it just seems like sooner or later the Everglades are just not going to be there anymore. I mean, there are snakes that are eating alligators, and that's a serious problem.
Dude, let me tell you one thing. The only thing that has happened to the Everglades is that it's becoming more and more like the freaking Amazon, dude. That's it. The Everglades are not going anywhere. The alligators, a lot of people don't know is that an alligator's main food source are other alligators. Not all these birds and all the like turtles and fish.
I didn't know that.
Alligators. Yeah, alligators love alligators, and that's what they prey on the most. They'll eat, obviously, but the snakes are a hard thing to stop, because they can go through the mangroves. They get up in the trees. They go in the water. They're comfortable everywhere. And with the heat, they can't be stopped. They're absolutely everywhere. There's a spot where a friend and I where we were kayaking through the mangroves, and you just hear splash, 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 and you're barely even seeing it. But if you sneak up and you're really quiet, you'll see the snakes get spooked and fall to the water.
Wow, dude.
Wow.
Through
That's
the
crazy.
Everglades in like the Florida City kind of area.
Yeah.
It's nuts, dude. So all that is done. Like, you're not stopping it. The environment's completely changed. There's just a whole new place now. It's honestly, it's cooler. If you think about it.
Yeah.
But scarier at the same time, because
it's more like Jurassic Park now.
Yeah, it's a cool thought. But then you go out there and you're like, okay, now not only are there, the giant alligators, which have been around here forever, now we got these giant pythons that are getting bigger here than they do wherever they come from, which is
right. Yeah.
We're catching world records over here, 17 plus footers. The biggest one I've caught a couple 14 footers, So
that's definitely big, dude. The biggest one, Zach, the biggest one that I ever put my hands on, it was an albino Burmese. It had to be close to 20 something. This guy had this thing in a 2-bedroom apartment in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
And he would feed this thing live chickens, right? Snap the chicken's neck, drop it in the bathtub. This thing would go up in the tub and feed on these things.
Damn.
I was 16 years old, thought this was the craziest thing I would ever see in my life, And it still has to be. I mean,
crazy, dude.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
look,
Zach, listen, I wanted to ask you, man. I know I did my homework a little bit, and I found out that when you were a young man, about 14, 15, 16 years old, you won your first fishing tournament, dude. Is that what sparked like this whole catch 'em kind of wanting to do the YouTube, wanting to charter, wanting to captain thing?
Well, I was like 9 something. I mean, I obviously don't log it like that, but I think my first like regulated like recorded in like when the internet started popping.
Yeah.
Internet started working, right?
Yeah. It just makes it sound old, bro.
Yeah, in my lower teens. But yeah, no, I've been fishing competitively since I was about 9-ish, I think.
All right.
know, they have those little IGFA, those bass tournaments down here in South Florida, and I used to crush that. We used to have 3 species, catfish, whatchamacallit, peacock bass, and largemouth. So I'd always come with a peacock bass and largemouth, but I'd always find like a walking catfish and pop a lure in the case, and it just smacks them like smelly like a grub or something. So I'd come in with species, and I'd cash out. But that was fun. That kind of inspired it all. And on top of that, the different giant species, having these giants that are actually out here that not many people know about, that are like in my backyard like this. Like I've literally searched for all these different invasive. I've collected them. So kind of like Pokemon when you're after these things. Mixed it together and had to it has fun fun spin to it. So, but the fishing part of it, that's always been a joy to me. So I was like, I don't really want to work. I kind of wanted to make a little music career. So YouTube was an easy way to do it. And I was like, get a bunch of views from fishing, and then, maybe I'll make a clothing line with fishing, I'll push my Instagram, post a bunch of stuff about fishing, and then I'll post to YouTube, I'll get the views, and then I'll post, the music. But then the finances started happening, I started seeing that crazy cash that YouTube was giving me just from fishing. I'm like, why do I have to?
That's your niche.
Crap! I just want to fish anyway. I just want to retire my mom, make enough money for my children and wife and family in the future, and when I pass on, have something to leave them. So I was like, forget that. I'm just going fishing, and that's it. The music.
I hear you.
We would have did the same.
It's funny that you brought up catfish, because the first ever video when I finally started following you on YouTube, I think it was about 2 years ago. I think they're called the clown catfish, the silver one with all the spots.
Oh, the clown knife fish.
But it was a catfish with the big ass whiskers. You caught it out of some small canal, and I'm just like, I had one of those in my aquarium. What the hell is that doing in the canal system?
Called iridescent shark kind of thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all silver and it's got a bunch of black spots all over it.
Talking about a clown knife fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty, because it's silver and it has spots, and a lot of people have them in aquariums, and I had one kid too. But now they're invasive down here in Lake Ida, Lake Osborne, and South Florida, Miami. And they're all over the place, but they get big. Like I've caught one, I think my biggest was around 36 inches.
That's definitely the one I saw you catch, because I remember it being 36 and a half inches. I remember that.
Yeah. Some giants, dude. So, oh my God. They bump into each other, they get spooked.
Man. And I've seen all the tanks and the swimming pools that you have with all these invasive fish, man. I got to ask you, what is the absolute craziest fish invasive you've caught?
That I've caught?
Yeah. Down there in Florida.
I think just the size of pacu.
Yeah.
These guys are back here too. I've caught some giants right here. Now you could see them acting crazy right behind me. But I think the craziest thing to other people would be the 50-pound pacu that I caught. So 50 pounds, and when I say 50 pounds, they are so solid that they're all compact. It's like you chopped off your torso, and your torso to your neck, and you just made yourself as solid as can be, and with a bony just structure. That's what pacu are like, except just covered in slime. So they're so strong, it's incredible, and they have human teeth.
Yeah, they're in the piranha family, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they get so big, and they're so relatable being in that piranha family, that a lot of people can be like, oh wow, that's But all those fish I showed you a second ago, when I put on the waterland in front of the I put on the sunglasses in front of the camera so you guys could see that with the polarization. Most of these fish I've actually caught too. There's a large iridescent shark over here. Like I said, it was 42 inches. That was the most recent invasives that I've caught. But I've caught some koi fish too, and those are all really cool.
Yeah.
So some of those koi can go, for some big money as well. Not that
I know. My mom had one that was worth about $1,600.
Yeah. Like pieces of art, and jewelry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What people don't seem to understand is some of these things, like the koi fish, the pacu, the Burmese pythons. I mean, to me, a snake is not a pet. I am not afraid of a snake, but I wouldn't have one as a pet. You know, imagine I'm sleeping, the freaking thing crawls out, wraps around my neck, and I wake up dead. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you have a giant set of grapefruits for me to keep it PG-13 to be able to go out there and fight these things by hand. I mean, I'm not terrified of the thing, but I wouldn't go with anything less of a 10-gauge shotgun. I know that, sure. That's for sure. I mean, but you go out there and like you're just grabbing these things by their neck, and I'm looking at the TV. I'm like, yo, dude, this freaking guy is nuts. You know what I'm saying?
But I actually got bit so bad. It's on my Instagram. I got bit by one of the solid ones, not too big, maybe I don't know, 10 to 12 footer, and it hit on the way down. It was falling out of a tree. It hit me, and it's like teeth got launched so deep into my thumb that the teeth were between my joints, right?
Oh.
Right? So there was, I think, 3 teeth in there that I didn't know were in there because I popped one out myself, and I was digging all night, and I was like, I have to go to the emergency room because it's bothering me. I've gotten bit several times, you know what I mean? Multiple times.
Right.
This one, I couldn't stop. Wouldn't stop bothering me, even though I slept on it. So I went to the ER, and one of the teeth were actually in between, you know, like little joint right here, my thumb. So you know your thumb, everything. My dominant hand. I was so pissed.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as they let that out, but I have a video that shows the X-ray, everything else on my Instagram. But it's crazy, dude. I was so aggravated by that. But yeah, it does get annoying. But on the other side of things, like I've been in a room, some of my friends have king cobras and giant rattlesnakes, and they'll hold it like it's a baby and give it kisses and stuff.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
Yeah, one of my friends missed fingers. I was just over his house the other day. I posted that on Instagram.
Oh no.
Hit by something. I think a cobra. I don't know. He's barely alive. I've been in places. I've seen people getting bit by these snakes and stuff, like shooting B-roll for like TV shows and stuff like that. Whacked like years ago. I'm like, dude, the venomous stuff. I can't. I don't want to physically hold that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
No,
but it's like a python or an alligator, something like, you know, as long as I'm faster or stronger and I can dodge, I can fight it. I mean,
I'm gonna crown you with the name, the Florida version of Steve Irwin for sure, man. I mean, this guy's crazy. He's going out. I mean, I don't want to keep asking you about the snakes, but there is something that I do want to ask you because this, to me, is very intriguing. A lot of people say that anacondas have made their way there. Is that true, or is that just a TV myth?
No, it is true. The TV myths, you know, they get stupid. But at the end of the day, there are anacondas down here. There's rock pythons. There's everything that you could think of that anyone has ever had a pet of.
Right.
You know, at least 10 of everything is out here. So you're going to run into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen the Nile monitors down there. Sorry to cut you off, Aaron.
No, you're good.
With your eyes?
No. I saw it on your show. That was
Dude,
it. But
there are so many Nile monitors. People
really?
understand. I was walking around. I was bow fishing actually, and I was just trying to shoot tilapia and have a good time with my friend Joey, and a giant Nile. Like, let's see. I'm not sure if you could see how tall this is. This is where its head on the fence. So,
dude.
And its feet were down there. So its tail, it had to be at least 6 feet long.
Yeah,
it had to be longer than that, dude. I'm talking. It was so big. I was stunned, but it ran full speed, slammed up against that 6-foot fence, couldn't get through it, and then jumped into a small canal. And I actually shot at it to try to get it. And so did my friend. I thought I hit it, dude. I don't know if it did or what, but I did not have that thing at the end of my bow when I pulled it
down, right?
It burrowed into that canal, into the dust. I did not see that thing ever again. And then it turns out they shot it later on.
Oh.
Yeah, they saw that thing. It was next to a school. I'm talking about in like this thing. Like there's the Everglades, and then there's, you know, the rest of the world down here. It's literally a line, dude. There's wild boar, and then the panthers. They just cross over and just say hello, and then the like a lot of my friends on YouTube, sometimes they post about the coyotes killing their stuff. Like, what's happening? Because it's such a city, you know? And then all of a sudden, it's just like the final frontier, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's not walking land. Like, you have to navigate around all this stuff and find the places to walk. And then it's just, and then you find all the animals, and you find like these hot spots that are like miles long that you can actually hunt. And that's where like everything is. So then you start plucking it. It's tough, dude. It's
yeah,
crazy.
no, I noticed that, dude. When I was watching it, when I first called you, dude, on that on the series, it was I forget what episode you guys were filming for, dude, but it was like an abandoned like hospital or something in the middle of freaking nowhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So it was like, it blew my mind how it was developed at one time, and then just nature took back over, bro. It kicked everybody the hell out, and that was it.
Instantly, dude. And then people mess around out there, and they just spray paint and stuff. And if you're not looking for those snakes, you're not going to see them. I'm talking about, you could be right next to them right here, and if you're not looking, the way they move, and that's their pattern and their color pattern, you will not see them. Like, it's so hard to see that animal. It's like an alligator where their like eyes flash back at you either. You know, like you shine your flashlight on an alligator, the eyes will glow right back at you. That's why you can't hunt.
So Zach, I gotta ask, buddy. I mean, I know the YouTube channel is doing its thing. I know Instagram's doing its thing. Hell, you're doing your thing. Does the YouTube channel have anything different or anything to look forward to in the next year? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see the channel in the next year, bro?
Well, I've done a lot of crossovers. So with YouTube, you know, everything's getting like crazy, you know, restricted, and like I'll post a Paku or something and they'll be like, oh, that's too scary, you know? And then had a lawsuit where they were like trying to take the information from kids or something and sell them toys. So then they messed up with that. So things got a little funny. So right now, like, I haven't posted even trying to catch pythons. I haven't posted catching iguanas. I haven't done a lot of the stuff that I really like to do. And I have never, ever attempted to hunt on that channel. I'm lying. I did try to post that, and immediately it got like ripped off of YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, and if you get 3 strikes, then you're out. So I try my best to post the cool stuff and what I would like to watch as a kid, as an adult, as a family-friendly channel, so everyone could sit down and watch this together. You know, you could sit down with your mom, you could sit down with your 3-year-old, and all 3 of you could sit down, you know, put something on TV and enjoy watching something that, you know, hey, this is not going to have like some crazy, you know, garbage or some hidden message that's going to twist my kid's head up, or my mom's going to get pissed off and make me uncomfortable watching with her. You know? I might say some slick jokes to get you a good laugh or two in the middle of the episode, but at the end of the day, you know, you can trust that you're watching some quality content. So I really have to take my time and be kind of careful with that stuff. But on YouTube, man, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and I'm really going to try to do a lot of spear fishing because I've been riding around on this boat. I really haven't had the chance to take my time and enjoy it. But when I haven't filmed on it. So now I'm going to start filming on it here and there. You know, I've got my friend some tarpon, and we caught some snook, you know, tons of mahi, pretty much everything you can think of down here in South Florida that I've caught on it already, but I haven't posted anything on it. I think actually this week I'm going to post, I actually took this big old twin engine, 26-foot boat out in the Everglades and just destroyed like a bunch of Oscars, large bass, stuff like that. And the invasives, once again, my next door neighbor was like, oh, I'm hungry. I want some Oscars. He was telling me a story. I was like, this is the perfect time of year. It's like the minnow run in the Everglades. So I took that big old boat down there and I surprised him with a bunch of them. He was like, what? This is crazy. Where'd you get me?
It's sick.
I went to the pet store. But just like that, they were all pet store fish. Everyone knows what the Oscars are. I've seen one. If you walk into a pet store, if you've ever given a living crap about a fish, you know what an Oscar. You know what I mean?
I learned the hard way what they were. I had put a tiger Oscar like a moron in my fish tank, and I had a betta. And about 37 seconds later, I didn't have a betta anymore.
Exactly.
It was a wrap.
And that's what they do. So we caught a bunch of those things, and that was fun. Just had our time in the Everglades, just like today. We took that big old boat out there, saw the kids. I told you all that earlier. So I'm starting to film some stuff, and I'm gonna start posting a lot of cool content offshore on the boat, you know. And I've been doing actually more wakeboarding on it than anything.
Okay.
But just haven't been posting as much. I post like 4 times a month now. I take my time with it. I enjoy it. And before I was posting like 5 to 7 times a week.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now I'm posting like 4 times a month. So all the parents are like, why are you post more? Blah blah. But you know, you gotta slow down sooner or later. So I'm still gonna post. You know, definitely for the next 3 to 5 years, just taking my time because I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing it, and I know there's people that enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely,
as long
man.
as
And
I
you
have
definitely
both
keep everybody
that,
entertained. That's for sure.
appreciate it, man. But I am doing a lot of things on the TV side. You know, I'm doing 2 to 3 shows a year now. So that also takes time away. But if I manage my time wisely, I can still post those 4 times a week, you know, and get rid of it. Because most TV shows, you get at least 1 day off a week. So I take that day, might film, like, you know, those 4 episodes before the show starts. And
Yeah, man, we had a little glitch there, but you know, you were saying you're going to be posting more often, and you know everything that's going on with the show.
Yeah, I apologize, man. My phone died. I was trying to show you guys the invasives in the backyard what I collected and stuff. And, you know, like I said, I was offshore all day playing tug of war with sharks.
It's all good. It's all good. Zach, I heard that's it. Did you have some engine problems, bro? Was that a myth, or did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I had some engine problems. I actually got a bunch of seaweed got sucked up into a side of the engine, and one of the sharks actually had a bunch of fishing line or something and like a leader behind it, and they got all that fishing line tangled up with a bunch of sargassum. I was in idle while we were wrestling the shark, so I wasn't paying attention to it, but I did see that shark with all that line behind it, right? And then shark didn't have it anymore. He swam under the boat. He didn't. Then all of a sudden, he didn't have that line anymore. I was like, maybe it's a different shark. But what happened is I found all of that shark's leader and a bunch of that sargassum, that seaweed, wrapped up, and it clogged the where the engine spits with the cooling. It clogged all that because I have inboards in this boat. It's like a jet ski boat. It's so sick. And it clogged it, and I thought I was going to have to take it in. But when I started cleaning the boat, I started pushing it out, and that freaking line was sitting there wrapped around a bunch of sargassum. So I pulled all that junk out, and then I revved it really hard, and the rest of the sargassum popped off.
So Zach, let me make you feel a little bit better, right? I know we're coming to the end of this, but it must have been mid-December. I decided to get a wave runner jet ski, like 2014 Yamaha. Yeah. I'm out with one of my buddies in New Jersey, dude, right? So you know how cold the water is in December. I'm out there trying to striper fish off this wave runner, and I suck up a bunch of seaweed in the intake manifold. I'm on the phone with everybody. Guys, I don't know why it isn't starting. I'm choking it. I'm doing this.
No.
I'm trying to figure it out. So I finally get on the phone with the guy that sold me the wave runner. He's like, Aaron, you got to jump off, have your boy hold your feet, get up underneath that thing, and grab all the grass out, and then, you know, you'll be good. So mind you, it's starting to get dark on us, Zach. I jump off this thing. My boy holds my feet. Worst idea ever. I'm trying to let him know to let go of my feet. You know what I'm saying? This man's grounding me now as I'm pulling seaweed out from underneath my wave runner. Oh, my God. So, yeah, it wasn't – you trust me.
Why did he tell you to grab your feet? I don't get it.
Listen, I thought it would have been safer for this man to hold my feet than to let me jump underneath this thing and just get it out. You know,
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one, brother.
I carry a tube now, because a long time ago, too long ago, but I was pushing my boys in the in the wakeboarding, and my rope got stuck under the same boat, but it didn't stop the engine altogether. I kept going, and then it like halted it, you know, but I cut the engines off before it got so bad. It took me like a half an hour underwater though to cut the rope out from underneath it.
Oh man,
wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
but hey, man, I know you are pressed for time, and I know you are an extremely busy man. So let the listeners and the viewers know, where can they catch you? Instagram, Facebook.
Hey, stay tuned on History Channel. We got shows on History Channel. Swamp People, Serpent Invasion, and that's the last like 5 years. This is the 3rd season of Serpent Invasion, and this is the 5th season of Swamp People. I think I'm on, maybe. fifth or sixth. I get confused. I was on the show since season 10. So, and on my socials, you can catch all the coolest parts of what I do. And on YouTube, that's free. You can just hop on there and check it out anytime you want. YouTube, Catch 'em All Fishing with Zach Ketchum. If you type in Zach Ketchum on any social media, you'll be able to find me. Zach Ketchum, ZAK Ketchum, all one word, CATCHEM, Zach Ketchum. If you type that in on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, you'll find a bunch of cool content, a bunch of my videos. And although on YouTube it's called Catch 'em All Fishing, I'm thinking about changing that name to Zach Ketchum, and making it all one, because everywhere else it's Zach Ketchum except on YouTube. So on YouTube it's Catch 'em All Fishing, and then I say in the show, my name is Zach Ketchum. So that
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Go get them.
Yeah, and I'll make it easy for all the viewers watching on YouTube right now. All of Zach's social media will be linked down in the description below. Thanks, brother. We appreciate you having on, taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to chat with us. We really appreciate it, man.
No problem, guys. I appreciate you having me on. Be safe, guys.
Thanks, all right, man. Take it easy. Man, it was great hearing from Zach, man. He definitely gave us a different angle on the podcast today, showing some of the viewers of what his backyard looks like and some of these invasive species that he actually keeps as pets. He tries to help the community as much as he can, and he tries to get rid of these invasives, but at the same time, he just doesn't want to kill them. He's actually taking them out of where they're not supposed to be and trying to relocate them to new homes, which is awesome.
Yeah, and this man is definitely educated. Beyond your average Joe. I will tell you that, because some of the conversation that we had with him, it wasn't just about removing the invasive from one location to another. It was about almost farming that invasive to a point to where it was healthy and ready to be relocated, dude. So there's so much science that went behind it for this guy. And again, guys, he goes into talking about swamp people, what his the serpent invasion, the series he's doing with them. So many little tips and tricks that he's gained along the way. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this, because we did, and that's for sure.
The thing about invasive species is it's not really the species itself's fault. I mean, they were put there by man, and unfortunately they get the bad rap and they have to get slaughtered and murdered when people catch them. But at the end of the day, it's not really their fault. They're just trying to survive just like they would anywhere else. It's just not their fault where they were located at.
That's right. And he touches on that, he definitely does. And to piggyback off of that, Chris, if you guys aren't ready to go buy a snake, you guys aren't ready to go buy some fish and put it in a tank, a turtle especially, right? And you don't know the repercussions of buying that turtle or that snake, how big it's going to get, do yourself a favor. Wait 5 days. If you think today's the day you're going to go out and buy it, wait 5 days, research and watch every freaking video on how big they get, what the food requirements are. I mean, everything. And then after that 5 days, you still want to make the decision to do it, at least it's an educated one.
Absolutely, man. And don't get me wrong, like we touched on with Zach, I'm not afraid of snakes, but I strongly believe that a snake, especially something like a python, is not a pet. I mean, especially if you have small kids in the house or anything like that, you can be asleep and this thing will find its way out of the cage eventually. They do have brains. They're going to know and figure it out. You can wake up with the snake wrapped around your neck. You know what I'm saying? And this thing will kill you. It will suffocate you. So you definitely got to be really, really cautious with what you're buying. Understand that they're not going to stay this big, this small forever.
Yes.
There are pythons out there that are 17, 18, 20 feet long,
For sure. And again, I spoke about it in the podcast that we did, guys. I've witnessed a giant in a place it should have never been. But there is, guys, I do have a good friend of mine, Chris, that he loves snakes, collects them. Their pets, has almost every single species of snake, that is out there that's legally allowed to be kept by man. But this man is so educated when it comes to reptiles. It's my go-to when I have a question. So that's all I'm saying to you guys, is educate yourself before bringing one of these things into your home or into your care. And then it becomes too much, and then it becomes an invasive species. You don't want to add to the problem. You want to help, for sure.
I want to give a big shout out to Zach for all the efforts that he's doing. Like he said, you're not going to defeat the problem, but he's trying his absolute best, along with other guys out there in South Florida, trying to eradicate the problem because, okay, the Everglades is not going to go anywhere. But, like the show teaches you, these snakes being around and other invasive species, not just snakes, the smaller wildlife is gone. You don't see squirrels in the Everglades. You don't see the otters anymore. They're all getting eaten. They're all getting taken out of, because unfortunately that's just the food chain. But I just want to give a giant big shout out to ZAK for everything that you're doing, brother. And, I'm sure that everybody can appreciate that. And we know that the ecosystem and the wildlife does appreciate what you're doing.
For sure. And listen, Chris, before we go, I gotta give a gift, right? There's gotta
Absolutely.
be a gift. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not taken advantage of Angler Talk 10, Angler Talk 10 will give you guys a certain percentage off of an extreme bait tank. You guys see it here. You guys will see it on the YouTube channel if it pops up across the screen if you're watching. But if you have not checked out an extreme bait tank, head on over to my YouTube channel. Head over to the Facebook page, Fishing Magician TV. You guys will see these tanks in action. I mean, amazing quality, amazing friggin' bait tanks. We'll make them for every application. So, Angler Talk 10, Angler Talk 10.
Absolutely, guys. All right, so we're out of time for this week. He's Aaron, I'm Chris, and we're out. Tight lines.